What's up guys, my name is Draper and I'm happy to announce that for the 2017 season, once again, I'll be representing Team Prodigy. So I'll be throwing an all Prodigy bag, which I have no problem with. Before I get started, I usually use my Zuka bag, my Zuka all-terrain bag when I play disc golf, but it's been muddy here recently, so my tires get pretty muddy, so it's just not worth it. So I use the backpack, which I don't have a problem with. I just have really bad scoliosis, so it kind of helps me out to use a Zuka when I can. But that being said, let's get into it. I'm actually going to start with some discs that I use as utility discs or that I'm working into my bag. Right now I only have two. The 750X1 I use quite frequently in lower elevation, but I'm at about 6,000 feet of elevation here in Pine Top, Arizona. So I don't really need it too much, you know. Less stable discs are pretty overstable in this elevation, so an X1 is not necessarily a necessity. And then, new addition to the bag, 300 series A3. This is a brand new disc. It flies just like the A3 right now. It's brand new, but it just doesn't skip as much as the 400 series plastic does. So yeah, it'll be very useful in the future, and I can't wait to break it in and put it in the bag. So good. All right, so into the bag now. Let's start with the putters. I carry 4 putters. I have 2 throwers. I have a Street Team PA2. It's been in the bag for a few months now. Still pretty overstable, but it's quite beat in now, so it flies straight for a long time, then fades at the end. And then my 300 PA3, Par 2 PA3 Glow, really straight. Can really manipulate to do anything. So those are my 2 throwers. And then my 2 putting putters, I have 2 300 Team PA3s. These are my money discs, and they're always the most important discs in my bag. They feel great in the hands, and I love them. So yeah, those will stay in the bag for a while. So that's it for the putters. Let's go into the approach discs. Those are next up. I have a 400G A4. This thing is really straight and slightly overstable at the end. You can really manipulate it to do anything you want it to. You can still throw it into a 15-mile-per-hour headwind and get to hold a straight line, so it's very useful. Use it for sidearm and backhand. And then I got an A3 and an A2, both 400G. The A3 is a Street Team, a little bit flatter than the A2. Both very overstable discs, but I just get a little bit more glide out of the A3, so if I need a little bit of glide, I'll use the A3 over the A2, but I usually end up using the A2 a little bit more because it's my favorite approach disc. On to the mids. Let's see here. I got quite a few mids, I guess. More than I usually carry. Let's start with the least stable. I got 2 M4s. I got a 750 M4, the least stable of the M4s, and then a Mac and Cheese M4, which is almost like an M3, but just a tad less stable than an M3, and my favorite run of the M4, so I use it a lot. And then, let's see, let's go to M3 here. This is a Pete Ulibarri dyed M3, spin die, pretty cool. Flies true to a 400G M3, you know, straight to a little overstable at the end. So, use that quite a lot too. And then my M2s. This is a brand new 750 M2 I just put in the bag. Still pretty overstable, but yeah, I love overstable mids now this season, now that my arm speed's a little bit faster, so I use that. And then I love this M32. I think it was in my last in the bag, but it's just a different stamp. I got this from Kyle Webster. Really good run of M2, similar to like a Rock 3 or Truth if you throw Trilogy or Innova. So that's it for the mids. On to the fairways, or singular fairway. In high elevation, I don't carry too many fairways. And that's just because I don't really throw a lot of rollers. It's pretty rocky, and you just don't really have many opportunities to throw rollers or sidearm rollers. And I can pretty much manipulate this 400G F1 to take any line I need it to. It's pretty straight to overstable. It's a Pete Ulibarri dyed 400G F1 again, and very pretty. So yeah, I only carry one fairway in this elevation. Next up is the hybrids. Let's see. I got 3 hybrids in the bag. Start off here, I got the 400G H3, pretty new, maybe about a month old. Flies true to an H3, straight to overstable. Great for shots, about, I don't know, 360 and in for me is usually when I use them. Yeah, great for sidearms and backhand. And then I got two H2s here, excuse me. They're both 750 actually, but I've had this one for over a year. This is the St. Jude's Team Stamp H2, and it's still really overstable, but it has a little bit more glide, and it's still very dependable compared to this brand new, just started throwing it today, 750 H2, very overstable, similar to a Firebird or a Felon if you throw those companies. So I use those discs a lot. And last but not least, of course, this season I still throw a lot of drivers, mainly just because I throw a lot of sidearms and backhands. So let's go with the least stable here. Let's see here. Actually, we'll just start with the D3s because I don't carry any D4s. So D3s, I only have 2 D3s. It's kind of weird. I usually have more. But yeah, I only have 2 D3s in the bag. This one I've had in the bag for a while. It's a D Squad D3. Has a lot of glide to it. And still pretty dependable, but it's beat in a lot now, so I just use it for distance. And then I also have this 400G D3, and it's super flippy for me, so it's used for max distance, long turnovers to a little bit of hyzer at the end. So that's it for the D3s. Up next, D2s. Probably my favorite driver from Prodigy. I still love my stable, straight to slightly overstable disc that I can just manipulate and take any line I want it to. So that being said, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 D2s, starting from the least stable. Let me just do this. They're all pretty straight to slightly understable or slightly overstable. They're just beat in a little bit differently. So yeah, so this is my least stable, max distance. I've thrown this close to 540 feet, so it's my favorite D2, and it's one of the newer runs. Has a lot of glide. This one's a little bit more overstable, a little bit straighter. I can trust it a little bit more, but it weighs 167, and it's just a great older run D2. So I've been using that a lot. And then my Team Stamp D2, still have this in the bag. Probably my straightest D2, as in stable, straight flyer. And then this is another crusher, the gray Proto D2. A little bit more beat in. It's been in my bag for almost 2 years now. I love this thing. It's my favorite driver, probably my favorite disc in my entire bag. If I get to throw this thing, it goes really, really far. And then my straight to overstable D2 gray. It's not the same one as last year's. It's a newer one, but yeah, it's still pretty straight to overstable, and I love this thing. So that is it for the D2s. And last but not least, in my bag, I have 5 D1s. Sorry about that, my camera died. So we'll start with the D1s from least stable to most stable here. Okay, so first up, all these D1s are still overstable. Some just have a little bit more glide than the other ones. And this one is, I can put a little bit of hyzer on it, and it's a really stable flyer and has a lot of glide to it. It's still dependable at the end, so it's my fastest, farthest D1 and my favorite run, probably. Top three runs of D1. This is a newer disc in my bag, purple, dummy-ish, D1. Use this for sidearms, overstable, dependable. Just a tad more overstable than this beat-in Street Team D1. But yeah, it still has a lot of glide to it and can go pretty far when I throw it on sidearm. Or for a big, long, maybe 380-foot hyzer for me. So, on to the OGs. This is my favorite run. I changed my mind. This is my favorite run of D1. They're both overstable, just meaty D1s, and they feel fantastic in the hands. They're both OG bleeders. This is a double team stamp D1. I've had this since my birthday last year. It was a birthday present to myself. Still overstable. That's a little beat in, but you can't even hardly tell the difference because they're so overstable. So I use these for hyzers, sidearms, and anything I need to trust in a headwind, especially when I'm in Oklahoma. I'll use these OG D1s. And this one's like brand new, more overstable than this one. I've had it in the bag for like 2 weeks, so very overstable. And then, believe it or not, this is my most overstable D1. Doesn't know what a headwind is. It's almost like an X1. It's an SE D1. Had it in my bag for a while now, and yeah, it's super flat, and it's just a very, very good overstable run of the D1. And yeah, I really only use it for backhand hyzers and strong headwinds. Don't really use it for sidearm too much unless I need a skip shot. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching my In the Bag, and I look forward to throwing Prodigy again for the 2017 season. And I'm also an authorized dealer now, so I will be selling Prodigy disc in my area, and if I come through your area, if you want some Prodigy, go ahead and hit me up. But thank you guys so much for watching. Go ahead and subscribe and like if you do like these videos, and if you have any suggestions, let me know. So thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you next time.